Act like you were meant to win. You can't walk like a loser and expect to win. You can't speak defeat and lie victory. You gotta act like you were meant to win. Every step you take, every move you make, has to say, I belong here. Stop waiting for somebody to give you permission. Stop waiting for a green light. You are the green light. You are the permission. You've already been called. You've already been chosen. Now ACT like it. Winners don't second guess themselves. They don't apologize for being great. They don't shrink back when the pressure's on. They lean in, they lock in, they say, this is what I was built for. Every obstacle, it's proof that the level is real. Every setback, it's confirmation that you're on the right path, because the enemy don't fight what isn't a threat. You think you're the underdog, good. That means you're hungry. That means nobody sees you coming. That means you can shock the world. But you gotta start believing you were born for this. You want to win, then talk like it, walk like it, practice like it. Show up before the world does and outwork everybody in the room. That's how winners move. You tired, so what? Keep going. You broke, keep pushing. You doubting yourself. Speak life over your own name until that doubt drowns in your faith. The ones who win are not always the most talented. They are the ones who refuse to quit. You were meant to win, so act like it. Wake up with discipline, show up with fire, speak with power, move with purpose. Let your work ethic introduce you before your name does. Let your hustle be louder than your excuses. Let your grind silence the doubt in your mind, and when people look at you crazy, when they say, who do you think you are? You look them dead in the eye and say, I'm the one who doesn't quit. I'm the one who was meant to win. Confidence is not arrogance, it's alignment with your purpose. When you walk into a room knowing why you're there, what you're capable of, and what you're meant to do, that's not pride talking, that's clarity. There's a difference between showing off and showing up. Arrogance screams for attention, but confidence carries a quiet storm. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't even need people to understand. It just knows and acts accordingly. The reason so many people get uncomfortable when they see someone walk in with confidence is because they don't recognize what it looks like when someone is walking in alignment with purpose. See, when you've been through the fire, when you've been crushed, stretched, broken, and still standing, you don't walk in second, guessing yourself anymore. You don't tiptoe into your calling. You don't ask for permission to be who you were created to be. You step in bold. You stand tall. You speak with conviction because you've earned your voice through pain, through perseverance, through pressure. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. Confidence doesn't brag, it doesn't beg. It doesn't bow down, it simply moves with intentionality. Every action says, I know why I'm here. Every word says, I've prepared for this. And every step says, this is mine to do. When you're aligned with your purpose, confidence becomes your native language. You don't need to compete, compare, or copy anyone else. You know that your path was tailor-made. You know your assignment was handpicked. You know your name is on something bigger than the noise around you. And when you know that, really know that, there's no need to fake it. Confidence doesn't need to be loud to be strong. It's rooted, it's anchored, it's steady under pressure. The world will try to make you dim it down. They'll try to convince you that you're doing too much, that you're not ready, that you should wait until the timing is right. But purpose doesn't ask for approval, and confidence is what shows up when you stop shrinking into spaces you were meant to shift. Some people might call it arrogance because they're uncomfortable with certainty, but when you know, you move differently, you think differently, you show up with a mindset that says, I'm not hoping to win, I'm here because I've already claimed it. That's not ego, that's trust in your preparation. That's belief in your calling. That's what it looks like when you finally stop playing small and start standing tall in who you were meant to be. Confidence is not about looking better than anyone else. It's about knowing that no one else can do what you were put here to do. It's about walking like the victory was already written. It's about moving like the door is already open, even if you don't see it yet. Because when you're aligned with your purpose, confidence becomes automatic. It becomes the evidence of your internal knowing. It becomes the energy you carry that can't be copied, can't be faked, and can't be shaken. Winners move with urgency, not excuses. They don't wait for the perfect time because they know it doesn't exist. They don't sit around hoping things get easier. They get stronger, sharper, more locked in. Winners understand that every moment wasted in hesitation is a moment stolen from progress. They wake up with a mindset that says, let's go now, not tomorrow, not next week, not when the situation feels more comfortable. They operate like time is currency, and every second not invested in their goal is a second lost forever. Winners feel the pressure of the clock, not as stress but as fuel. They move fast but not careless, urgent but not panicked. They have a fire in their gut that pushes them to do what others postpone. Excuses are the language of comfort. Winners speak the language of commitment. They don't say, I'll try, they say, I must. They don't say maybe later, they say right now. They know if you give yourself a back door, you'll eventually take it. If you allow yourself to negotiate with your own standards, you'll lose the battle before it starts. Excuses sound good, they feel reasonable, but they do one thing: they slow you down. They convince you to settle. They help you justify quitting. And that's something winners don't have. Time for urgency doesn't mean rushing. It means recognizing the value of the moment and moving with intention. Winners prepare like the opportunity will show up today. They train like the door will open any minute. They speak like their words matter. They show up early, stay late, and operate like someone's life depends on their discipline, because it might. They're not casual about their calling. They treat it like a mission, and that kind of urgency is what separates the average from the exceptional. When you're serious about your dream, you stop making excuses for why it hasn't happened, and you start making moves to make it happen. You stop blaming your past, your upbringing, your environment, and you take full responsibility for the outcome. You can't be casual about success and expect to win big. Winners don't need ideal conditions, they create their own momentum. They don't need permission, they give themselves the green light. They don't wait for someone to recognize them, they grind until they can't be ignored. Urgency is a mindset, and it's reflected in your habits. It shows up in the way you attack your goals, the way you talk about your vision, the way you handle setbacks. Do you slow down and sulk, or do you pivot and keep pushing? Do you complain, or do you adjust? Winners don't pause when things get tough. They rise. They move like the opportunity has an expiration date, like the clock is ticking, like they understand that greatness is rented and the rent is due every single day. They don't hope for time, they make asterisk time. They find a way. They don't say one day, they say day one, and they mean it with every fiber of who they are. The battle is won in your mind before it's won in your life. Before the results ever show up, before the world ever applauds, before the breakthrough becomes visible, the war is fought and won internally. Everything starts in the mind: your belief, your discipline, your direction. If you lose the fight up here, it doesn't matter how strong your body is, how talented you are, how many resources you have. The mindset sets the motion. It sets the tone for everything that follows. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, hesitation, fear, or insecurity, those will shape the actions you take, and the actions you take shape the life you live. You can't think failure and walk into success. You can't think like a victim and operate like a victor. It doesn't work like that. Winners train their mind like it's the battlefield, because it is what you feed your mind grows. If you constantly feed it excuses, it will produce hesitation. If you feed it fear, it will produce avoidance. But if you feed it truth, discipline, courage, and belief, it will produce the fuel you need to win. Your mind is either your weapon or your weakness. The ones who win consistently are the ones who guard their thoughts like their life depends on it. They don't allow negative voices to take root. They don't give power to distractions or entertain limiting beliefs. They speak life over their situation even when the evidence says otherwise, because they understand that reality follows focus, and where your mind goes, your life follows. It doesn't matter what's stacked against you if your mind is locked in. It doesn't matter who left, who doubted you, who tried to block you. If your mental game is strong, you're already halfway to the win. That's why people can come from nothing, from brokenness, from impossible odds, and still rise, not because they had it easy, but because they decided in their mind that they wouldn't be denied. The decision came first. The internal victory came before the external one. They spoke it before they saw it. They believed it before they touched it. That's the level you've got to get to. You've got to build your mind into a fortress so that when life hits you, and it will, you don't break, you don't fold, you don't panic. Training the mind isn't just positive thinking. It's not fluff, it's strategy, it's rewiring, it's daily discipline, it's choosing every single day to align your thoughts with your purpose. It's challenging every lie that tells you you're not good enough. It's pushing back against every whisper that tells you to quit, because the voice that wins is the one you listen to. And if your inner voice isn't built strong, relentless, and grounded in purpose, you'll crumble under pressure. But if your mind is fortified, if it's built with intention, then the pressure only sharpens you, the struggle only strengthens you, the pain only prepares you for what's next. You don't need a spotlight to act like a champion, act like one in the dark. The real winners are made when no one's watching. When the camera's off, the crowd is gone, and there's no applause, no likes, no validation. That's where champions are built. It's easy to perform when the world is clapping, but what about when it's silent, when it's lonely, when it feels like no one believes in you? That's when you find out who really wants it. That's when you find out who's playing for attention and who's built for the mission. The ones who make it don't need to be seen to stay committed. They don't need a stage to stay focused. They train like the fight is tomorrow, even if it's still years away. They show up every day with the mindset that greatness is forged in private long before it ever shows up in public. It's in the early mornings, the late nights, the extra reps, the sacrifices nobody sees that the difference is made. The person who puts in the work when there's no recognition is the same one who will dominate when the lights come on. Acting like a champion isn't about fame, it's about mindset. It's about showing up with integrity, with effort, with discipline, not because someone's watching, but because that's who you are. You can't wait for someone to notice you before you start giving your all. You have to give your all even when it feels like no one's paying attention, because eventually they will. But by then, you'll already be ready. You won't need to fake the confidence. You won't need to pretend like you belong, because you put in the hours when no one else cared. People want the glory, but they don't want the grind. They want the prize, but they don't want the process. But the truth is, champions aren't made in arenas. They're made in the shadows. They're made in the hours of repetition, the seasons of silence, the moments of doubt that they overcame without a crowd cheering them on. If you only work hard when someone's looking, you'll never last. Because pressure will expose your preparation. Pressure will test your foundation, and if you didn't build it right when no one was around, it will crack when the spotlight hits. Being a champion is a lifestyle. It's not about being seen, it's about being consistent. You've got to carry yourself like you're already the one, even when no one else sees it yet. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Anybody can talk a big game when the attention is on them. But the ones who are destined to win, they act like it long before the world confirms it. They honor their process, they respect their craft, and they prepare like they're already wearing the crown, not for show, not for likes, but because it's who they've trained themselves to be. The dark seasons aren't a punishment, they're a test. And if you can keep showing up when no one sees you, you're proving that you don't need the spotlight to shine. Your actions must reflect the outcome you believe in. You can't say you want to win and move like someone expecting to lose. You can't talk about success and then live with hesitation, laziness, or fear. The gap between what you say and what you do is where dreams die. If you really believe the victory is yours, then your behavior has to line up with that belief. Every step, every choice, every moment of your day should be a reflection of where you're going, not where you've been. Champions don't just speak about the win, they act like it's already in motion. They prepare for it, they train for it, they live for it. If your vision is real, if your goal matters, then your life has to look like it. You want to change your world, but you're still showing up with average energy. You want to build something powerful, but you're still giving weak effort. You want a breakthrough, but you're still operating in comfort. You can't have both. Either your actions rise to match your belief or your belief shrinks to match your actions. It's one or the other. Winners understand this. They move with intention, not emotion. They wake up and grind even when they don't feel like it, because their actions aren't based on how they feel. They're based on what they believe is already theirs. They don't wait to see results before they move like a winner. They know that action brings clarity, momentum, and results. People say they believe, but belief without action is just noise. If you say you're built for greatness, then prove it through discipline. Prove it through the way you handle adversity. Prove it by how you show up on the days that test you. Your actions are speaking louder than your words ever will. When you really believe in something, you'll sacrifice for it. You'll fight for it. You'll put in the work without applause, without recognition, without guarantees. You'll move like it's not a matter of if, but when. That's the posture of someone who's aligned with their future. That's the mindset of someone who doesn't need outside validation to keep pushing forward. It's easy to talk. It's easy to get hyped. But what's hard is consistency. What's hard is showing up day after day with excellence when the reward isn't immediate. That's where most people fall off. But if you want different, you have to move different. Your habits have to change. Your circle has to shift. Your schedule has to reflect your goals. You can't say you're aiming for greatness and live like you're settling for average. Everything about you must reflect the outcome you believe is yours. You have to eat like it, rest like it, train like it, study like it, pray like it, hustle like it. Because when your actions align with your vision, you stop hoping to win and start expecting to win. You don't need to convince people anymore. Your work speaks for you. You don't need to chase recognition. Your consistency demands respect. Your life becomes evidence of what you truly believe.